Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of the SSFAQ series. Now, we all know that District 10 is one of the most prominent and highly sought after district in terms of housing in Singapore, but at the same time it's also one of the priciest. So, in today's episode, we are going to cover one of the many questions that we get from our viewers, and that is, what are the alternatives that you can consider when it comes to getting a housing that has similar amenities to District 10? Without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so let's begin the episode by giving a brief run through about the prices of the housing within District 10. Let's look into this chart from square foot over here. From this chart, we can see that the average PSF prices for the condominiums in District 10 has started to creep up towards the 2,500 PSF mark over the years. And it's getting closer to the previous high of 2,648 PSF, which was reached in June of 2019. There have also been many new launch condos recently in the D10 area, such as Hill on Holland, Leiden Green, and 3-bedders in these projects are already starting to edge over $2.5 million and reaching close to the 3 million mark even. So let's first try to understand why that is. So what is the reason that drives up the price of this prime district? So over here, we have an article from Cardigan Tate which actually breaks down the best areas to live in Singapore, and we can see that Holland Village is featured because of its proximity to Orchard Road, Botanic Gardens, and the many eateries and bars in Holland Village itself. Similarly, we've got these 3 other articles where experts also named Holland Village as one of the best places to live in Singapore. So, with all that, it's already no surprise to see why District 10 drives such high demand, and as such, the prices also follows through with that. Well, if you ask me, there are 3 main factors that drive the District 10 prices so high. First of all would be its prominent and a close proximity to the Orchard Shopping District, which, as we all know, is one of the most popular places for most Singaporeans and foreigners alike in our country. Secondly, if you take a look at the demographics of the housing types within District 10, you will notice that much of it is covered by good class bungalows and other landed housing areas. So with that, it actually sets down the density of the whole area to a much lower one as compared to other districts where there are many high-rise developments and like big projects. And with all that put together, it really provides District 10 as a very tranquil and premium location. So last but not least, it's also because Holland Village itself is such an iconic part of Singapore, and all of that drives a certain attraction to the people who stay there and the people who want to stay there. Of course, not forgetting that within District 10 itself, you'll find many of Singapore's most prestigious schools such as Hwa Chong, Singapore Chinese Girls' School, St. Joseph's Institute, National JC, and the list goes on. So now we come to answering the big question today, and that is, if I don't want to pay the big price tag that comes with District 10, what other alternatives can I consider to enjoy similar amenities that this prime area has to offer? So for the purpose of this analysis, we have zoned into 2 specific districts, and that will be District 21, which is directly on the left side of District 10 towards the west of Singapore, and District 3, which is Queenstown neighbourhood. So the first option that we will present to you will be the condominium that is called Maple Woods. So let's take a look at the info we have on it right here. So Maple Woods is located along Bukit Timah Road and less than 5 minutes walk from King Albert Park MRT station. Now, King Albert Park MRT station actually sits right on the fringe of District 10, because if you go down one more stop on the downtown line, which is 6th Avenue, the properties here are classed under the District 10 zoning. So because of this, the development has many of the perks that District 10 actually enjoys, yet it is situated within District 11. It is a 10 minutes drive away from Holland Village, and similarly a 10 minutes drive away from Botanic Gardens. King Albert Park MRT on the downtown line takes you to Orchard and Bugis in less than 20 minutes, and it's also near to schools such as MGS Primary and Secondary, Hwa Chong, and Nanyang Girls High School. Well, given that Maple Woods is also located along Bukit Timah Road and King Albert Park even as its own GCB enclave. That actually means that when you have apartment in Maple Woods, you actually get to enjoy very similar levels of tranquility and exclusivity. Now, if we look at the prices, we can see that it sells for well under the $2,000 PSF mark, usually around the 1.6k to the 1.8k PSF range. Of course, it's an older development as it was completed in 1997, but the land itself is freehold and the development is very well maintained. Given that it's far cheaper than the average District 10 prices, we think that this development is definitely worth considering. So, moving on, the next development that we will want to talk about will be Mayfair Gardens. So Mayfair Gardens is a new launch located just opposite King Albert Park MRT station along the Rifle Range Road. So location-wise, it's really similar to Maple Woods, and that means you get to enjoy all of the same perks like your short drive to Botanic Gardens, Holland Village, and it's also conveniently connected by the downtown line which takes you to town in under 20 minutes. So this development is a 99 years leasehold and the project is expected to TOP in 2014. There are just 4 blocks of 5 stories each with a total of 215 units. So in terms of exclusivity, you've got it here as well. And despite all that, you still get to enjoy full condo facilities like your gym, your pools and your barbecue pits. Because it's a new launch project, we can see that the prices are slightly higher than Maple Woods, and also because there are not many units left, prices are already starting to creep up towards the $2,000 PSF mark. Our last recommendation for District 21 would be KAP Residences. Now this project sits on King Albert Park itself and is located where the 2-story McDonald's and the cold storage down below used to be. Once again, 5 minutes away from King Albert Park MRT station, same perks in terms of convenience, schools and proximity to town. However, I want to highlight this development a little bit more because unlike the other 2 that we have covered, this is actually a mixed development with KAP Mall right below it. And I know most of the time, many of you might think that mixed developments have very underwhelming retail options. But I don't think that's the case for KAP Residences. If we take a look right here, KAP Mall actually includes an Eagle Wing cinema where you can catch a movie, as well as many F&B options such as Carl's Jr., Eagle Wings Loft, Royal Thai, boat noodles, Four Fingers, and even a Lee Ho for the bubble tea fans. So, the land tenure is freehold and this development was completed in 2017, so it's relatively new as well. You can see that the prices as of this year are around the $1,800 PSF mark. So given the perks of its location at King Albert Park and all the F&B and retail options right at your doorstep, we definitely think that this is a very worthwhile project to consider as an alternative to District 10 projects. So now we move across to District 3, and that is at the Queenstown Commonwealth area. So the first project that we're going to highlight is actually Commonwealth Towers. So when it comes to Commonwealth Towers, it has a very convenient location just right beside the Queenstown MRT station exit D, and it's also an 8 minutes drive from Holland Village, Orchard and Botanic Gardens, which is extremely quick. Queenstown MRT also sits along the east-west line, meaning that you're just 5 MRT stations away from CBD. Basically, most of the areas that you will want to go, be it retail, F&B, nature, recreational or even work, all of these will be well within your reach when you stay at Commonwealth Towers. The tenure of the land is 99 years commencing from 2013, which is very reasonable as this means there are still a lot more than 90 years left on the list. The project was completed in 2017, so it's relatively new, and from the past few transactions, we can see that prices are somewhere between 1700 to 1800 PSF. So how much does a 3-bedder cost in Commonwealth Towers? So we took a look at some Property Guru listings and found that the 3-bedders in Commonwealth Towers are being marketed from a starting price of around $1.7 million and translates to about $1,900 PSF. So when you consider that this development actually enjoys such a close proximity to all the key locations in Singapore, we definitely think that the price point is worth considering as an alternative to District 10 projects. So finally, the last project that we have to recommend for you in District 3 would be the Anchorage. So this development actually sits slightly further away from the Queenstown MRT station, but I believe the amenities within the locality itself more than makes up for it. You're actually situated right behind Anchor Point Shopping Centre, and right across the road you have IKEA Alexandra as well as Queensway Shopping Centre. Similar to Commonwealth Towers, this unit is less than a 10 minutes drive to Orchard, Holland V and Botanic Gardens. So if we take a look at the report over here, we can see that the prices in the Anchorage are at around the 1,500 PSF range, or even less in some instances. And if we go on to Property Guru to take a look, the 3-bedder here is listed at $3 million, but because of its larger size, the price comes down to around $1,700 PSF. Now, of course, the Anchorage is a slightly older development, being completed in 1997, and that means it's a little over 20 years old by now. But this project sits on freehold land, and with the price point at 1,500 PSF, we definitely think that this is one to consider, especially if you're a bit stricter on your budget requirements. Alright, with that, we've come to the end of our 5 recommendations for the alternatives that you can consider outside of District 10. So we hope you've enjoyed this video so far. So remember to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more of such content. And also drop it in the comment section down below what kind of FAQ you want us to answer next. Once again, I'm Bobby, Selling Singapore, and I'll see you soon.